My beloved child, my chosen one, only 7 minutes remain. Something in the air around you is shifting, like the world is holding its breath. The sky itself feels tighter, because Archangel Michael has stepped forward with a warning shaped only for you. He says, if you ignore this message, you will be punished, even sent to jail. And the shocking part is this, not for something you did, but for something someone close to your heart is planning behind your back. Imagine that for a second, someone you trusted, someone whose voice once felt safe, quietly placing a false accusation on your name. Before we move further, if your spirit is reacting even a little, pause and stay with this message. And if you feel guided, like this truth is already knocking inside your chest, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, so you never miss the guidance meant to protect you. A quiet pressure is rising around your destiny, like the universe trying to grab your attention. God says, do not skip this. Not this time, because these next 20 seconds of awareness can break chains before they even wrap around your life. Think of it as heaven placing a shield in your hands before the storm arrives, if your soul is trembling a little. It's not fear, it's recognition. Something inside you knows this message is arriving on divine timing, so breathe deeply, focus for a moment, and stay with me. Now listen with your whole heart. That false accusation your loved one is preparing is not your downfall, it is the moment heaven uses to lift your story higher. What was meant to wound you, will become the very place where your testimony is born. The enemy wanted to bury you, but God is turning the soil into ground where your victory will grow. This is why Archangel Michael has stepped in. Picture his sword blazing through every lie that was spoken in hidden rooms. His wings standing like a barrier between you and the judgment that never had the right to touch you. Time is slipping minute by minute. 7 melting into 6, 6 into 5, every heartbeat you feel right now matters. Because heaven's spiritual courtroom is opening, and your name is echoing through it like thunder. Don't turn away, don't scroll. This moment is your shield being placed in your hands, this is heaven standing between you and that shadow rising behind your back. The angels are leaning closer to you, whispering your name into the air. They know your heart was not broken by strangers, it was wounded by someone you trusted. And Archangel Michael stands tall in front of you, flames in his eyes, declaring, if you skip this, darkness will win its case against you. If you open your heart, light will shatter the lie before it reaches the judge's table. If this is touching you, take 1 second and share this message, so someone else can escape the trap the enemy set for them too. Imagine the scene clearly now. A dim room filled with shadows, your name written on a paper that carries false accusations. Words you never said, acts you never committed, yet someone you once loved is standing behind it. A face you know well, a heartbeat that once felt familiar, their fear has turned into poison. And their poison is turning into lies, but do not tremble. Michael has not come to frighten you, he has come to fight for you. God has sent him to cut down every whisper formed against your name, this is not coincidence. This is protection arriving before the storm, heaven never warns without also preparing rescue. That is why God is saying again and again, don't skip this. Give me these 20 seconds, and I will give you a freedom no court can take away. Because the real danger is not the jail of the world, it's the spiritual cage the enemy tried to lock around your voice, your dreams, your rising purpose. Feel your breath for a moment. If life is still moving in your chest, it means heaven is still fighting for you. God kept you alive for a reason, because the lie being crafted against you will not survive the light that is coming. The same lips that accused you will be forced to confess the truth, the same hands that pointed at you will shake, when the truth rises like fire and exposes what they tried to hide. God is already touching their conscience, their lies are cracking from the inside. Time is moving faster now. 7 minutes have already shifted. Do you feel the weight of this moment? Archangel Michael is practically shouting into your spirit. He says, the chains are being prepared. The gavel is raising, your name is being spoken in rooms where truth is quiet, but lies are loud. And yet God says it can all be reversed if you stay with this message, if this message feels like it's speaking directly to your soul. Don't hold it, press like, share it, and keep yourself connected. Heaven is guiding you step by step. Close your eyes for a heartbeat and picture this. A courtroom not of earth, but of heaven. Angels standing like pillars of light, books opening, scrolls unfurling. And in the middle of it all, your name glowing brighter than the ink of the accusations. Michael steps forward and drives his sword into the ground, and every dark force that hoped for your fall scatters like smoke. Now hear this deeper truth. The person who accused you was not driven by hatred, but by fear. Fear that your growth would expose their insecurities, fear that your light would reveal their shadows. Instead of healing they hid, instead of speaking truth they created a lie. But God is bringing every hidden motive to the surface, nothing done in darkness will stay buried. And that is why Archangel Michael says, don't take this lightly. Your honor and your destiny are hanging on this moment. Heaven is not bargaining with you, heaven is trying to protect you. These 20 seconds of trust can turn the entire path of your future, and what the enemy prepared for your destruction is already turning back toward them. The trap they dug for you will become the place where truth exposes them, the rope they tied with lies will wrap around their own deceptions. And the judge who almost believed them will suddenly see everything clearly. Stay awake, stay aware, stay connected. Because heaven is still speaking, the moment heaven speaks, every lesser voice fades into quiet. My beloved, listen not with your ears, but with your spirit. Because something sacred is unfolding around you, you are not standing alone in this storm. The courtroom of the world may feel loud, chaotic, confusing. Yet the courtroom of heaven has already reached its verdict, in that divine silence. God says, you are innocent, you are chosen, you are mine. If your chest feels tight right now, if something inside you trembles, understand this is not fear, this is your soul recognizing the weight of heaven's authority surrounding you. Feel this next truth settle into the deepest part of you. Archangel Michael never speaks without purpose. When he urges you not to ignore this moment, he is not talking about punishment. He is talking about protection. He sees the hidden nets the enemy tried to place in your path. And he is urging you to stay close to the light so those traps crumble before you ever touch them. This is why his words hold such urgency. This moment isn't about fear, it's about clarity, direction, and spiritual safety. Let your heart hear what your mind cannot yet understand. The one who tried to speak against you in the shadows was not a stranger, it was someone familiar, someone who once held a place in your heart, someone who knew your softness and mistook it for weakness. But God sees deeper than betrayal, He sees your intention, your purity, your truth. He knows how much love you gave, how much trust you offered. And even though your hands were open, there's carried hidden fear, fear that turned into false words. But remember this, lies rise fast like sparks, but truth endures like the ocean. And the ocean always wins, you must not underestimate what heaven is doing in this moment. Already Archangel Michael is lifting his hand, already divine clarity is dissolving every distorted whisper spoken about you. God says, stay here with me just a little longer, stay where the light is stronger than confusion. Because the more present you are in this truth, the weaker every shadow becomes. The trap once meant for you is already breaking, and as it breaks, those who built it will understand the weight of their own actions, not through harm, but through revelation. Every second you remain in this presence adds strength to your shield. This isn't a competition of minutes, it's a shift of destiny. Even now a heavenly book is opening, the false charges that once seemed to threaten you appear in fading ink. Then golden light spreads across the page, erasing every word that never belonged to your name. In its place God writes, innocent, protected, chosen, loved. No human voice can overturn what heaven has sealed in your favor. Feel the urgency in the air, it's not fear, it's divine preparation. Time feels like it's speeding up, 6 minutes folding into 5, then into 4. You may not understand why heaven is counting, but on earth every second holds meaning. Archangel Michael is standing guard with a blazing sword, not to frighten you, but to shield you from confusion and deception. He sees attempts to attach your name to things that were never yours, and he calls out with strength, stay in this truth, stay awake to the guidance heaven is placing before you. Listen closely to the pressure you feel, it's heaven leaning near. That weight on your chest isn't anxiety, it's the presence of angels gathering around you. They are standing guard as you read, nodding as you begin to understand that this message isn't a warning, it's a lifeline. God says, if you stay present in this moment, if you allow your heart to stay open, I will rewrite every plan the enemy tried to twist around your future. Their attempt to silence you will become the very thing that amplifies your voice. Betrayal often wears a familiar face, but healing wears the hand of God. The one who accused you knew how to aim their words where it would hurt. They misunderstood your rising light as a threat instead of a blessing. But what they didn't know is that your name rests in places they cannot touch. Your identity is held in a divine book, sealed by love older than creation. Lies may echo for a moment, but truth roars forever. And that roar is building behind you now, even your weakness is becoming the stage for God's strength. You may feel tired, cornered, misunderstood, or alone. But heaven thrives in impossible spaces. God delights in stepping into moments where human loyalty fails. When people fall silent, angels rise in chorus. When friends distance themselves, heaven draws closer. Look inside yourself, doesn't something shift? That shift is confirmation, your protection is already active, your breakthrough is already near. And right now Archangel Michael whispers the most powerful truth of all. I am here, I was sent for you, and I will not leave until your victory is secure. Child, you are closer to breakthrough than you realize. Don't step away from this moment. Don't let distraction steal the clarity heaven is placing before you. God is not demanding, He is inviting you into protection, into peace, into a turning point that will echo far beyond these minutes. Stay here, stay awake, stay aligned with the light that was sent to defend you. There is a stirring in the air that cannot be ignored. It's not fear, it's not pressure, it's heaven leaning closer. Urging your spirit to stay awake to what is unfolding around you. What comes next is not a warning of disaster, but a gentle release of everything that tried to weigh your heart down. My beloved, my precious soul, the hourglass of this moment is moving quickly. Not to frighten you, but to remind you that clarity often arrives in sacred timing. And right now that timing is surrounding you like warm light. Feel the gravity of this moment settle into your chest. As seconds pass, the voice of the one who once stood against you may grow louder in the earthly realm. But heaven's wisdom grows louder in your heart, and the beautiful truth is this. Heaven always speaks last. God says, I will not let my chosen one be defined by the misunderstandings of others. That promise is not rooted in fear, it's rooted in protection, love, and unwavering truth. Let this next revelation breathe inside you. The person who once stood beside you, the name you never imagined in the context of disappointment, acted not out of strength, but out of their own inner struggle. Their fear clouded their heart, and their confusion shaped their words. But God is showing you this not to reopen pain, but to close the chapter with wisdom. Their betrayal is not your ending, it's a step on the staircase heaven is building beneath your feet. See the vision unfolding in the unseen realm. Archangel Michael stands tall, not with aggression, but with calm authority. His sword is made of light, not to strike, but to reveal what shadows try to hide. Every distorted word spoken about you dissolves before reaching God's presence. The angels do not roar in anger, they rise in harmony, affirming your truth, your innocence, your purpose. Heaven surrounds you, not with fear, but with certainty. Let this truth anchor you deeper. Nothing God does in your life is meant to crush you. This moment is not punishment, it's a realignment. A shift, a turning point. You are being guided, not threatened. The enemy hoped you would get distracted, and missed the reassurance heaven is placing in your spirit. But the fact that you are still here means you are ready for clarity, ready for peace, ready for release. Picture the transformation happening even now. The chains that once symbolized heaviness or misunderstanding are not tightening, they are unlocking. A door once clouded by confusion is swinging open, letting light fill the space around your future. Your story was never meant to end in limitation. Your story rises into testimony, into resilience, into a kind of strength you didn't even know you were growing. Feel how heaven expands around your heart as you stay present. Every line you absorb strengthens your spiritual foundation. Every breath you take with awareness becomes a step toward emotional freedom. Heaven is not shouting at you, heaven is guiding you gently, but powerfully. When you stay with this truth, clarity becomes clearer, hope becomes lighter, and the path ahead becomes visible. There is a message heaven wants you to hold on to tightly. The one who misunderstood you may face their own reflections, not because of punishment, but because truth has a way of rising. God says your name is carved into His hands, meaning your identity, your worth, your destiny cannot be rewritten by human tongues. What was said against you cannot stand in the presence of divine love. Look deeper into this vision. A scroll is unrolled in a quiet heavenly chamber. Written on it were once words that carried weight, but as light touches the parchment, every false impression evaporates. What remains is your name glowing with clarity, surrounded by words like protected, whole, restored, and beloved. These are the labels heaven has chosen for you, and no earthly voice can replace them. Allow your heart to understand the deeper movement happening now. The heaviness on your chest is not fear, it's the recognition of truth. It's the awareness that you are seen, defended, and understood by forces far beyond the limitations of human perspective. The betrayal that once hurt you cannot overpower the healing that has already begun. Here is the power you need to carry forward. God says, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and no tongue raised in judgment will stand." This isn't a threat to anyone, it's reassurance to you. It is heaven's way of reminding you that your path is not controlled by the words of others. Your destiny is written in divine ink, not earthly opinions. Stay with these words long enough for them to soften your heart. Every sentence you read dissolves another layer of doubt. Every moment you choose to remain grounded shifts the atmosphere around your spirit. This is not coincidence, this is not chance, this is alignment. Heaven is bringing you into the clarity you were meant to walk in. Let this final truth sink deeply into your soul. What was meant to discourage you will become the very testimony that lifts you. The one who misunderstood you may someday understand their own mistakes, not through harm, but through reflection. And you will rise with grace, protected by light, guided by angels, surrounded by divine wisdom. My beloved, you are not standing at the edge of fear, you are standing at the doorway of breakthrough. And heaven is gently guiding you through it. There's a reason the atmosphere around you feels different right now. It isn't fear, and it isn't pressure, it's recognition. Your spirit senses that something meaningful is unfolding, something bigger than confusion or accusation. Archangel Michael speaks not to frighten you, but to steady you. He says, "Stay present, for truth is rising like a tide." His words aren't warnings of danger, they're reminders of protection, of clarity, of divine strength wrapping around your life like a shield. Look deeper into the scene forming in the quiet corners of your mind. A judge's gavel is lifted, not in threat but as a symbol of finality. A signal that what once felt uncertain is being settled in your favor. The courtroom you imagine is filled with whispers, not because you are in danger, but because heaven is preparing to reveal a truth no rumor can silence. Then comes the face you once trusted, the name that once brought comfort. Seeing them on the other side hurts, but even that pain has purpose. It's a reminder that not all endings are losses, some endings are turning points. Feel the shift that enters the room as heaven speaks. The moment your heart recognizes betrayal, another sound echoes, a firm grounding presence. Archangel Michael's sword strikes the floor, not in violence, but in declaration. His light fills the whole chamber, scattering every shadow of confusion. Heaven does not speak to condemn, heaven speaks to confirm. God says, what was meant to bury you will become the soil where your strength grows. Let that truth settle like calm water inside you. What someone misunderstood about you is temporary, the clarity heaven brings is everlasting. Your deliverance isn't far away, it's unfolding in real time. Even now God is shifting the story, untangling the knots, rewriting what was once written in haste or fear. Doors that once felt sealed are beginning to ease open, opportunities that felt distant are drawing near. That sensation in your chest isn't panic, it's awakening. You're not collapsing under pressure, you're expanding through it. Just like birth pushes new life into the world, this moment is pushing new strength into your spirit. Something inside you is being formed, that no accusation can destroy, and no misunderstanding can silence. Heaven is not fighting against someone, it is fighting for you. Every moment you stay grounded in truth, your path becomes clearer, your foundation stronger. Listen to the harmony rising around you. The angels aren't battling darkness, they're amplifying truth. They speak over you with confidence, repeating your innocence, affirming your purpose. Their voices lift your spirit, until the lies that once felt heavy lose all their weight. You're not meant to finish this message because danger lurks, you're meant to finish it because healing is happening while you do. Your story is not shaped by chains, it's shaped by light. Even the one who misunderstood you is not your downfall, in time their eyes will widen, not in fear, but in realization. They will see that your calling was never fragile, God marked you with purpose long before anyone spoke against you. You are not defined by their confusion, you are elevated by God's clarity. Let your heart absorb the movement taking place right now. Heaven is not waiting for a perfect moment, it's acting in this one. The scrolls of your life are being rewritten, not with judgment, but with restoration. What once looked like a closed path, now reveals hidden openings. What once felt like a barrier, now becomes a doorway. The pressure you feel isn't a warning, it's transformation. It's a sign that something deep within you is shifting into alignment. Heaven isn't asking you to stay out of fear, it's inviting you to remain because peace is unfolding right beneath the surface. The longer you stay connected to truth, the more the old stories lose their grip. Let this next vision lift your spirit. Imagine a courtroom filled with voices, some uncertain, some confused. Then suddenly a wind moves through the room, the lights shift, and a divine presence fills the space. God's voice echoes, not with judgment, but with assurance. This one belongs to me, this one will rise. Every word spoken over you carries strength, not threat. Feel the healing moving through your memory. The betrayal you faced was painful, but it is not your identity. It becomes a tool, a moment of growth, a chapter that teaches you how deeply you are held by heaven. What was meant to shake you, is becoming the ground where you rebuild stronger than before. Do not let the noise of accusation drown out the calm of truth. Even now justice is tilting, not to hurt anyone, but to reveal clarity. The narratives spoken against you are unraveling, not because someone is being punished, but because truth naturally rises to the surface. Heaven defends with gentleness, not force. Hold tightly to this moment, for it is shaping something sacred. Every word entering your heart becomes a tool of peace, every line becomes a layer of protection. You are not abandoned, not unseen, not unprotected. You are wrapped in divine light, guided by angels, strengthened by truth. This moment is not about fear, it's about release. It's about stepping into the breakthrough that has been forming behind the scenes. What once felt like a storm is becoming the very wind that lifts you, what once felt like chains will soon feel like testimony. And the one who misunderstood you will eventually understand, not your suffering, but your strength. My beloved child, you are standing at the intersection of truth and transformation. And heaven is gently guiding you toward the path that belongs to you, steady, strong, and filled with light. There is a reason the air around you feels heavy in a way you can't explain. It isn't danger, it isn't threat, it's the weight of heaven leaning close. Making sure you don't overlook the guidance meant for you in this very moment. Archangel Michael is speaking not to frighten you, but to center you. He says, the truth is rising, stay aware, stay present. His voice is not a warning of harm, it's an invitation into clarity and peace. Look again with your inner eyes, and see the scene unfolding without fear. You may imagine someone writing frantically, trying to form a story that doesn't belong to you. But even as their words appear on paper, a gentle hand from heaven wipes away every misunderstanding. Their perspective may be clouded by emotion, but God's clarity is brighter than any confusion. One word written in divine light, innocent, outweighs pages of human misinterpretation. Feel the honesty in the ache you carry. Yes, it hurts deeply when the misunderstanding comes from someone familiar, someone you trusted, someone you never believed would stand in a shadow. But the reason this message touches your heart is because your spirit already sensed the shift. Heaven isn't revealing this to hurt you, it's revealing it to free you. When masks fall, truth rises. And with truth comes direction, let this moment become a gentle turning point for your soul. This experience is not your collapse, it's your unveiling. As clarity enters, confusion leaves. As truth rises, hidden shadows lose their grip. Heaven often reveals what's concealed right before elevating the one who is chosen. This is not darkness winning, this is your purpose taking shape. Stay connected to the calm unfolding through these words. Not because danger waits, but because healing happens when you remain attentive. Every sentence becomes a brick in the wall of protection around your heart. A wall not made of fire or fear, but of light, wisdom, and peace. You are not being chased, you are being guided. Listen to the harmony of heaven growing stronger within you. The angels aren't chanting to warn you, they're affirming your identity. Their message is simple and unwavering, you are seen, you are valued, you are held. Their voices grow stronger, not because darkness approaches, but because your soul is waking up to the truth that has always belonged to you. Let the idea of justice shift into something gentle and restorative. What was once pointed at you will eventually reflect back on the one who misunderstood, not as a punishment, but as a moment of clarity for them too. You are not rising because someone else falls, you are rising because truth naturally floats to the surface. God is not cruel, God is balanced. And balance is returning to your story, you are approaching breakthrough, not because of fear, but because of alignment. This moment is not about running from anything, it's about walking into understanding. Breathe slowly, feel the peace moving into the spaces where anxiety once tried to settle. This is heaven's timing, shaping your heart for the next chapter. Imagine Archangel Michael standing not as a warrior of threat, but as a guardian of peace. He stands before you like a wall of calm, not fire. His presence is firm but comforting, saying, "This one is guided, this one is watched over." Those words aren't about danger, they're about reassurance. Anything spoken against you loses power simply because your spirit is anchored in truth. Picture the heavenly courtroom from a fresh, safe perspective. A room filled with light, not fear. A scroll bearing your name, not with accusations, but with affirmation. Where earthly misunderstanding whispers guilty, heaven gently declares known, understood, and loved. Angels look at you not with worry, but with respect for the strength you've shown through difficulty. Let yourself acknowledge the depth of the hurt you felt. Pain from those close to you carries a different weight, it can make you question your value. But hear this, betrayal does not define you, it reveals the resilience already inside you. God whispers, your identity is not shaped by their confusion, but by my truth. Stay here a little longer, not from fear, but from comfort. These words are not warnings, they're healing. They're unraveling old knots inside your heart. They're closing doors that were never meant for you, and gently opening ones that lead toward peace. Every sentence frees you from the weight of someone else's misunderstanding. The one who confused your intentions will not write the final chapter of your story. Their words may ripple for a moment, but truth remains steady. And when clarity finally shines, it won't be with humiliation, it will be with understanding. They will see what heaven saw in you all along, and here is the gentle truth heaven wants you to hold. God is not preparing chains for you, God is preparing healing. Deliverance is not about someone else falling, it's about you rising. Vindication is not about harm, it's about clarity. Your story is shifting from tension to breakthrough, from confusion to direction, from heaviness to light. Feel the warmth on your skin, the calm rising in your chest. That is not imagination, that is heaven drawing near. Reassuring you that you are safe, protected, and guided. Archangel Michael stands not as a threat to anyone, but as a guardian of your peace. Whispering, this one belongs to God. There's a reason your heart feels pulled toward these words right now. It isn't fear, it isn't pressure, it's heaven gently guiding your attention. Making sure you don't miss the comfort, clarity, and strength being offered to you in this exact moment. Archangel Michael is speaking not to frighten you, but to steady your spirit. He says, stay present, truth is becoming clearer. His voice is a reassurance, a calm presence standing with you, not a warning of danger. Look deeper into what your spirit is sensing beneath the surface. Someone may have misunderstood you, perhaps even someone close, someone whose opinion once mattered to you. Their version of the story might feel heavy, but it cannot define your identity. Even when people misinterpret you, heaven sees beyond words, and looks directly at your heart. God sees your intentions, God sees your truth, and nothing spoken in confusion can erase what heaven already knows about you. Feel the weight lifting as clarity begins to replace uncertainty. The plans or assumptions made against you aren't as solid as they once seemed, they're dissolving like sand meeting the ocean. God's truth is like a tide, steady, strong, and gentle all at once. It smooths away the roughness of misunderstanding, and reveals the foundation of who you truly are. You are not defined by someone else's fear, you are defined by the purpose placed within you. Let this next thought settle into your heart like warm light. The hurt you felt from someone familiar is real, but it is not final. God says, even this pain will become part of your growth, even this disappointment will become wisdom. Their misunderstanding will not break you, it will shape you into someone more grounded, more aware, and more aligned with your future. Nothing about this moment is meant to bury you, it is meant to reveal your resilience. Stay connected to this message, not because danger exists, but because healing is unfolding. Every line you read adds another layer of understanding, another breath of peace. Spiritual clarity doesn't demand fear, it invites presence. The angels surrounding you are not forming walls to block harm, they're forming a circle of calm. Reminding you that you are seen and supported, let your imagination see the courtroom in a new gentle light. Not a place of threat, but a place of balance. Papers may exist with misunderstandings, but they do not carry the authority to define you. Heaven's perspective carries peace, not panic. Where human eyes may rush to judgment, divine truth patiently brings clarity. You are not unnoticed, you are not undefended, you are not alone. Allow the ache of betrayal to be acknowledged, without letting it control your future. Being hurt by someone close is one of the deepest wounds a heart can carry, it makes you question your worth, and wonder why trust can turn into confusion. But hear this with your whole spirit, their confusion is not your reflection. Their words are not your destiny, God whispers, your identity is safe with me. Let these words strengthen you as you breathe them in. Not as weapons, but as reminders of who you are becoming. Every sentence is a step closer to peace, every moment of awareness is another brick in the foundation of your healing. Heaven isn't trying to pull you toward fear, it's trying to lift you toward clarity, dignity, and self-worth. Imagine the heavenly scene shifting into warmth and brightness. The scroll once filled with accusation is now blank, gently glowing. Only your name remains clear, bright, untouched by doubt. Angels look at you not with concern, but with confidence. Because they see the strength growing in you, they see the steadiness in your spirit, they see the grace surrounding your life. Let your pain become a teacher instead of a burden. God says, do not let their misunderstanding define your identity. You are growing through this moment, becoming more grounded, more clear-minded, more connected to truth. The fire of disappointment isn't consuming you, it's refining you. Stay with these words a little longer, not from fear, but from comfort. Every sentence brings release, old burdens untie. Old doubts lose weight, old stories lose power. You're stepping into a place where peace replaces worry, where understanding replaces confusion, where purpose replaces pain. This moment is becoming a bridge between what hurt you, and what will heal you. The misunderstandings spoken about you will not overshadow your purpose. They may echo briefly, but truth remains steady. And in time even those who doubted you may recognize the strength, patience, and grace with which you walked through this season. Not because they fall, but because you rise. And here is what heaven wants your heart to hold with confidence. God is not preparing judgment for you, God is preparing restoration. You are not heading toward chains, you are heading toward clarity. You are not walking into darkness, you are walking into light. Every step you take in awareness becomes a step into freedom. Feel that warmth in your spirit, that calming presence around you. That is not imagination, it is heaven's reassurance. It is Archangel Michael's protective presence, it is the quiet voice of God saying, "This one belongs to me." There's a quiet rising in your spirit right now, and it's not fear, it's recognition. Something inside you knows that what once tried to dim your light, is now becoming the very reason your light grows brighter. What others misunderstood about you is no longer a burden, it's becoming a doorway. Heaven draws close not to warn you of danger, but to remind you of who you are and who you've always been. This moment isn't about threat, it's about clarity. Feel how the atmosphere shifts as you breathe these words in. What others once tried to hold against you is losing its weight, their words once loud are fading into background noise. And in their place rises something gentler, stronger, more grounding. Peace, God says, what was meant to limit you will become the space where you rise. These are not words of defense through fear, they're words of reassurance, guiding you toward where your heart is meant to stand. Let the scene form gently in your imagination. A courtroom filled not with panic, but with quiet. Papers once covered in misunderstanding begin to soften, the ink fading as light fills the room. When the judge looks up there is no threat, no harshness, only understanding. The atmosphere glows with truth, and the only word that remains on the page is one written in soft gold, innocent. This isn't fire consuming your past, it's light clarifying your future. Allow this shift to wash through you like a warm wave. The one who misunderstood you acted from their own pain, their own confusion. Their voice may have carried weight for a moment, but it can never outweigh the truth God already holds about you. Heaven isn't speaking to punish them, or raise you above them. Heaven is speaking to remind you that your worth is not determined by another person's moment of fear. Stay centered here, not out of pressure, but out of peace. Every line offers grounding, every sentence is a deep breath for your soul. The angels surrounding you aren't forming barriers of fire, they're forming boundaries of comfort. Reminding you that you are never without support, their presence is gentle, like a quiet chorus repeating, "You are safe, you are seen, you are held." Feel the warmth rising in your chest, the calm settling into your shoulders. That's not threat, that's not urgency, that's understanding finding its place in your heart. Archangel Michael stands with you, not as a warrior bracing for battle, but as a guardian offering reassurance. His presence says, "This one is guided, this one is supported." There is no fear in his voice, only certainty. Let this courtroom shift into a place of balance and clarity. No flames, no destruction, just truth unfolding gently. Where once there were accusations, there is now illumination. Where once there was tension, there is now ease. The judge's gavel doesn't fall to strike, it settles softly. To bring closure, and closure comes in the form of peace. Acknowledge the sting you once felt without letting it define you. The hurt was real, pain from someone familiar always cuts deeper. But that pain is not your identity, it's your teacher. God whispers, let this shape you, not shatter you. Your spirit is rising not because someone fell, but because you've grown wiser, stronger, softer, all at the same time. Stay with this message not because danger waits, but because healing happens here. Every word helps release something heavy, every moment softens something sharp. You're not battling darkness, you're stepping into light. And as light fills your steps, the shadows behind you naturally fade away. Picture your name as heaven sees it right now. Written not in fear, not in tension, but in radiance. The scroll bearing your name glows gently, untouched by misunderstanding. It carries words like beloved, protected, rising, chosen. These are not titles earned by struggle, they're truths spoken over you since before the storm began. Let your heart breathe deeply into this understanding. None of what happened was meant to break you, it was meant to reveal your inner strength. The pressure you felt wasn't a trap closing, it was your spirit expanding. Heaven never meant harm for you, heaven meant awakening. Move with this moment as it unfolds in quiet power. Every past confusion loses its hold, every old story untangles, every heavy word dissolves into something lighter. This isn't about fighting back, it's about stepping forward. God says, your path is opening, your heart is healing, your direction is becoming clear. Feel the gentle rise of strength inside you, the kind that comes from truth, not force. You are not waiting for chains to fall off, there were never chains meant for you. You are stepping out of misunderstanding into identity, you are moving from confusion into clarity. You are rising not because someone else falls, but because you are aligned with who you truly are. And here this final truth settles softly into your soul. You are held, you are guided, you are protected, not by fear but by love. Archangel Michael's presence around you is not a shield against danger, it's a reminder of support. God says, this one belongs to me, and there is peace in that, not pressure. When heaven settles something in your favor, it becomes unshakable. No whisper of doubt, no opinion from others, no misunderstanding can undo what God has already spoken over your life. It feels like a quiet current of strength is moving through your name, filling the spaces where fear used to live. This isn't electricity of threat, it's the assurance of purpose waking up inside you. Let your mind grow still for a moment, and notice what's happening in your spirit. This isn't about distraction or urgency, it's about alignment. Heaven doesn't speak to entertain, heaven speaks when your heart is ready to understand something deeper. And right now your spirit is finally positioned to receive clarity you've needed for a long time. Feel the peace that settles when you allow yourself to trust what God is arranging. Archangel Michael says, the shift in your life has already begun. Not a force dragging you, but a gentle momentum guiding you toward where you are meant to stand. Your surrender isn't about fear, it's about softness. When you allow yourself to trust before fully understanding, the path opens with less resistance. Grace becomes smoother, peace becomes easier. Let these words fall softly into your heart like morning light. Your name is written in heaven's story in a way that cannot be erased. Fire cannot burn it, waters cannot wash it away, doubt cannot dim it. Archangel Michael does not speak casually, his presence shows that something meaningful is unfolding. Not dangerous, but transformative. Look inward with honesty and compassion. Someone close to you misunderstood you, they may have spoken from fear, not malice. From insecurity, not truth. Their words may have felt heavy, but they do not define you. Heaven is gently untangling what was twisted, the web of misunderstanding they believed would hold you, is loosening strand by strand. Not to harm them, but to free you. Let that freedom rise inside you like a fresh breath. Your innocence, your purpose, your calling, these are not fragile things. They cannot be broken by another person's moment of confusion. What remains after the noise fades is your truth, your light, your steady identity in God. Feel how the weight begins to lift as clarity enters your heart. The pain from someone familiar turning away is real, but pain is not your destination, it is the doorway to understanding. Sometimes people fear what they don't understand, sometimes they react from their own shadows. But their fear cannot bend your destiny, your future is held in God's hands, not in someone else's worry. Stay present in this moment, not because you're in danger, but because you're healing. Every sentence offers clarity, every line eases something heavy. The angels surrounding you now aren't forming barriers, they're forming comfort. Their presence is a gentle reminder, you are supported, you are protected, you are not alone. Feel the reassurance that rises as Michael's presence draws near. Archangel Michael stands beside you, not as a warrior preparing for violence, but as a guardian standing in peace. His words steady the atmosphere around your spirit, his wings represent comfort, not conflict. His sword symbolizes truth, not threat. His message is simple, this one is guided. See the courtroom scene transform into something soft and luminous. The gavel doesn't fall to crush, it settles to bring closure. The papers once heavy with misunderstanding become light, as the truth becomes visible. Shadows dissolve when clarity arrives, your name stands in brightness, surrounded by peace. Let your heart accept what God is gently saying. The betrayal you felt will not define your path, the disappointment you carried is not your identity. You are rising not because someone else falls, you're rising because grace lifts you. God says, your story continues in strength, not sorrow. Stay with these words because they are building something inside you. Every moment of awareness adds to your foundation, every breath in this light settles your spirit. Heaven isn't rushing you, it's inviting you to see yourself clearly. What once felt like chains were only misunderstandings, and misunderstandings can be unraveled. Let this truth settle deep within your chest. Your accuser's voice was loud only for a moment, but God's voice is steady, enduring, unwavering. And God's voice speaks over you valued, whole, rising, protected. These are not labels given by people, they are truths spoken from eternity. Feel your spirit lift as you move forward in this understanding. No threat hangs over your future, no shadow controls your destiny, you are stepping into clarity, into peace, into the quiet confidence that comes when heaven aligns something in your life. And hear this final truth wrapped softly around your heart. Your story is not ending in heaviness, it is unfolding in light. Archangel Michael stands with you, not as a warning, but as a witness to your growth. God says, "This one belongs to me," and in that promise your spirit finds rest, strength, and direction.